The desert was endless, a sea of red sand stretching under two suns. The human traveler walked slowly, his boots sinking into the soft ground. Heat waves danced in the distance, bending the horizon, making the land look like water. He had been walking for hours, and still there was nothing. No trees, no shade, no sound of life, only silence. Only the soft whisper of wind pushing grains of sand against his face. He was tired, but he kept moving. Something in his heart told him he was close to something important, something hidden. At first he thought it was another mirage. A shadow moved across the dunes, tall and thin. The traveler stopped, squinting against the light. It was not a mirage, it was a figure standing still, watching him. She was not human. Her skin was pale silver, her eyes glowing faint blue. Her hair floated slightly as if the air around her was lighter. She looked young, but there was a strange weight in her stare. The traveler felt both fear and curiosity. He stepped forward and called out, "Who are you?" His voice cracked in the dry air. The figure did not answer. She turned away, walking slowly toward a tall shape in the sand. The traveler followed, even though a small voice inside warned him to stop. The figure turned her head slightly, and at last she spoke. Her voice was soft but sharp. "Do not follow me, human. You will not return if you do." The traveler hesitated, but the desert was empty, and the only living being he had seen was her. He had crossed this planet searching for answers. Now the first answer had appeared before him. He could not turn back. She walked faster, and he struggled to keep up. Her feet left strange glowing marks in the sand, fading after a few seconds. The glowing trail led him to something he could not believe. Half buried in the red dunes stood a pyramid. Its stone was black, smooth, and older than time. The pyramid rose high, though much of it was hidden under the desert. Strange symbols covered its surface, glowing faintly in the fading light of the suns. The traveler felt a shiver. He had seen ruins before, but nothing alive like this. This was not just stone. This was something breathing, something waiting. The alien girl placed her hand on the pyramid side. Lines of light spread under her touch, racing across the black stone like fire. The pyramid hummed with a deep sound that shook the ground. The traveler could not move. It was as if the desert itself held its breath. She looked at him with warning in her eyes. "This place is not for you. Leave now." But the traveler's curiosity burned stronger than fear. He stepped closer, ignoring her words. The light on the pyramid grew brighter as he approached. Night came quickly. The two suns sank, and the desert turned cold. Stars appeared in the sky, but the pyramid glowed like a star of its own. The hum grew louder, the sand around it shifting like waves. The traveler whispered to himself, "What is this place?" The alien girl finally turned to him, her face calm but her voice filled with something deeper. "It is a grave, a warning, and a secret. My people sealed it long ago. Humans are not meant to see what is inside." The traveler's heart raced. Why did she say humans as if she was speaking of strangers? Why did her voice sound both afraid and sad? He felt there was a story hidden behind her eyes, a story she would not share. He reached out, his hand hovering near the glowing wall. The girl gasped, stepping back. "No, do not touch it. It is waiting for you. It will know you. It will never let you go." The traveler's hand shook, but he could not pull it back. The pyramid's hum seemed to call him by name. The lines of light pulsed like a heartbeat. The desert wind stopped. Even the stars above seemed to hold still. He felt the pull of destiny. A voice deep inside whispered, "This is why you came here." The alien girl's expression changed. No longer only fear, but something else. Hope mixed with despair. She whispered so softly he almost did not hear, "If you open it, the galaxy will change and nothing will remain the same." The traveler pressed his palm against the black stone. The pyramid blazed with light, brighter than both suns together. The ground cracked, the dunes shifted. A line appeared across the stone, glowing like molten fire. It spread wider and wider, forming the shape of a door. The alien girl fell to her knees, whispering in her strange tongue. The traveler stood frozen, heart pounding. The pyramid was alive, and now it had seen him. The glowing door pulsed like a heartbeat, and in the silence of the desert a deep voice echoed. A voice not human, Not alien, but something older. You have come, human. The time has begun. The traveler's breath caught in his throat. The alien girl lifted her eyes, fear and awe mixing in her face. The desert was no longer empty. The pyramid had awakened and the human had been chosen. The desert was silent, but inside the glowing pyramid the silence was deeper, heavier. The traveler stood before the shining doorway, his hand still pressed against the black stone. The alien girl was behind him, her eyes wide with fear. The door trembled, light spilling. Through its cracks, as if something inside wanted to escape, the voice spoke again, low and ancient. Enter, human. The door is yours. The traveler pulled back his hand in shock, but the light did not fade. Instead, the stone shifted, sliding apart like giant slabs of glass. A cold wind rushed out, carrying the smell of metal and dust older than time. The girl grabbed his arm, her touch trembling. You should not go in, this place does not belong to you. The traveler stared at her, his heart racing. But it called me. Why would it open for me if I was not meant to enter? Her silver eyes glowed in the darkness. Because the pyramid is dangerous, it does not care about your life, it only cares about the key. And you, human, you are the key. The traveler felt her words cut deep. But curiosity burned stronger than her warning. He stepped forward, past the line of light. The moment his foot crossed the threshold, the pyramid roared like thunder. The desert outside shook, the sands trembled. The girl cried out and followed him, unwilling to let him walk into death alone. Inside, the walls glowed with shifting patterns. Symbols moved across the stone as if alive, twisting and changing. The light was soft, not fire, not electricity, but something older. It painted their faces with pale gold. The human felt small, like an intruder inside a god's tomb. The chamber was vast, the ceiling so high it vanished into shadows. On the walls were carvings, humans and aliens standing side by side. They were not fighting, they were working together, building stars, raising towers, crossing galaxies. The traveler touched the carving of a human face. It looked almost like his own. Impossible, he whispered. The alien girl turned away, her jaw tight. It is not impossible. It is the truth we buried, a truth your people were never meant to know. Her words echoed across the chamber. The traveler's heart pounded. Humans had been here before, long ago. He turned to her, his voice sharp. You knew this, didn't you? That humans were part of this place? She did not answer. Her silence was enough. Suddenly, the chamber floor shifted. Rings of light formed under their feet, spiraling outward. The walls moved, and a doorway opened deeper into the pyramid. A low hum filled the air, rising like a song. It was not random. It was a voice calling. The traveler took a step forward, but the girl grabbed his hand again. Her touch was cold, desperate. If you go deeper, you will awaken things you cannot control. My people sealed this place for a reason. The traveler looked into her glowing eyes. And why does it speak in my language? Why does it open for me and not for you? She turned her face away. Because long ago humans were chosen, but that choice brought only war and fire. Her voice cracked with regret, as if she carried guilt older than herself. The humming grew louder. The symbols on the walls began to shine. Then, in the center of the chamber, a great stone pillar rose from the ground. It was carved with spirals of light. At its top sat a crystal, pulsing like a beating heart. The traveler stepped. Closer, the crystal glowed brighter. And suddenly a voice echoed through the chamber, this time in clear human words. You have been chosen. The gate remembers you. The path opens once more. The girl gasped. Her knees weakened, and she fell against the wall. No, not again. Not. After all, we tried to stop it. The traveler stared at the crystal. What does it mean? He demanded. She looked at him with eyes full of sorrow. It means the pyramid accepts you. It means the old door is open again, the one that leads beyond stars. The air grew heavy, the ground shook. From the far end of the chamber, the walls, split apart, revealing a passageway lit by golden fire. The traveler could see stairs descending into shadows. The pyramid was alive, opening its heart to him. The girl whispered, almost in prayer, "If you go down there, nothing will ever be the same. The galaxy will remember your kind, and my kind will never forgive me." The traveler clenched his fists. He felt both fear and destiny pressing against him. This was bigger than him, bigger than Earth. It was a secret buried by time, now demanding to be revealed. He looked at her one last time. "You can walk away, but I must see what waits below." Her eyes filled with pain, but also something new. "Trust. Then I go with you. If death waits, it will take us both." Together they stepped toward the golden passage. The pyramid hummed louder, the crystal flashing like lightning. The air thickened, their breaths shallow. Each step echoed like a drumbeat in the silent chamber. And then, as they reached the stairway, the voice returned one last time. "The trial begins." The girl froze. The traveler's heart thundered. The floor behind them sealed shut, trapping them inside. The pyramid had made its choice, and now there was no way back. The golden stairway descended into shadows, each step glowing faintly under their feet. The traveler and the alien girl moved, carefully, their breaths echoing in the hollow silence. The deeper they went, the heavier the air became, as if the pyramid was pressing against them, watching them. The hum of the walls followed, like a heartbeat inside stone. Finally, the stairs ended in a vast chamber, round and endless. The walls curved upward into darkness, and strange glowing lines ran across them like veins of fire. In the center stood a circle carved into the floor, filled with symbols neither human nor alien could read. The moment they entered, the circle lit up, burning with golden light. The girl froze. "This is the first trial," she whispered, her voice shaking. The traveler frowned. "Trial? What kind of trial?" She turned to him, fear sharp in her silver eyes. "The pyramid does not give its secrets freely. It tests those who enter. It wants to see if you are worthy." The traveler's pulse raced, but he clenched his fists. "I did not come this far to turn back." The ground rumbled beneath them. The golden circle flared brighter, and from its edges came the sound of grinding stone. Slowly, shapes crawled out from the floor. They were not alive, not flesh. They were machines of stone and metal, shaped like beasts, their eyes glowing red, four-legged with sharp claws and teeth of steel. Their bodies cracked as they moved, dust falling from them, but their power was clear. The girl stepped back, raising her hand, energy flickering in her palm. The traveler stared, heart pounding. The beasts circled, growling with voices like scraping metal. One leaped forward, but the girl released a burst of psychic light. The creature flew backward, smashing against the wall, yet even broken it crawled back to its feet, refusing to die. "They cannot be stopped so easily," the girl warned. "They are guardians. They fight until the challenger is gone." The traveler's eyes darted around the chamber. If these things would not fall, then he had to outsmart them. Another beast lunged, claws slashing. The traveler rolled aside, grabbing a loose stone from the floor. He smashed it into the glowing red eye of the beast. Sparks burst out, and the creature screamed with a metallic roar. Its body froze, then collapsed, its light fading. The girl's eyes widened in surprise. You found its core." The traveler breathed hard, sweat dripping down his face. "Then that's how we fight them. Go for the eyes." Together they faced the guardians. The girl struck with waves of psychic energy, throwing them off balance. The traveler darted in, smashing their glowing eyes one by one. The chamber filled with thunder, sparks, and roars. Every time one fell, another rose from the glowing circle. It felt endless. But slowly, the traveler began to see the pattern. The creatures only came in sets of 3. With each wave they grew stronger, faster, smarter. The girl was tiring, her energy fading. The traveler's arms ached, his body bruised, but he refused to stop. At last, after the 7th wave, the circle went dark. The final guardian fell with a crash, its red light flickering out. The chamber fell silent again, only the sound of their breathing filled the air. The girl dropped to her knees, her chest rising fast. You survived. You passed the first trial. The traveler wiped sweat from his face, his hands shook, but his eyes burned with determination. Then what comes next? Before she could answer, the floor shifted again. The circle split open, stone grinding as a new path appeared, steps leading downward into even deeper darkness. But this time, no golden light waited, only black shadows, thick and endless as the girl looked at him with sorrow. Every trial will be harder. The pyramid does not stop until it knows your heart. If you fail, it will take your life. The traveler stood tall, though his body screamed with pain. Then I will not fail. I will go until the end. They stepped onto the new path, the chamber closing behind them with a heavy crash. The air grew colder, the walls tighter. Symbols glowed faintly, showing strange figures. Humans standing beside alien races, building great pyramids across worlds. But then the symbols changed, showing fire, war, betrayal. The traveler stared at them, his chest heavy. What happened here? Why were humans erased from this story? The girl lowered her head, refusing to answer. Her silence was louder than words. The traveler clenched his fists. He knew she was hiding something terrible. The path ended in a small chamber, different from the first. In its center stood a stone table with a map carved upon it, glowing faint blue. The traveler stepped closer, his eyes widening. It was a star map, showing hundreds of worlds across the galaxy, and there, shining brightest of all, was Earth. His breath caught. Earth? Why is it here? Why would this place know my home? The girl's face was pale, her lips trembling. Because your people were never strangers, they were once part of this galaxy. Long ago. The traveler turned sharply to her. Her words made his blood run cold. You mean humans were here before? We belonged here. She looked away, her voice breaking. Yes, but it ended in betrayal, and that truth must never be told. Before he could demand more, the pyramid shook violently. The walls cracked with light, the ground splitting. A deep rumble filled the chamber, and from the shadows, a voice rose. The second trial awaits. The stone map flickered and a hidden door opened, revealing another dark stairway. The traveler's heart pounded. The girl whispered, If you go further, there will be no turning back. But the human only stared at the glowing star map, his eyes fixed on Earth. He whispered to himself, I must know the truth. And with that, he stepped toward the stairway. The pyramid roared in approval, its voice echoing like thunder. The first trial was complete, but the true danger was only beginning. The new stairway descended deeper than the others. Colder with every step, the air felt heavy, filled with the scent of ancient dust. The traveler walked ahead, the alien girl close behind, her face pale, her eyes troubled. She'd been silent since they saw the glowing map, but silence spoke, louder than any words. Finally, the stairs ended in a long corridor. The walls were covered in carvings, endless lines of history drawn in light. The traveler slowed, his eyes widening. The carvings showed humans, tall, proud, standing among the stars. They built cities on distant planets. They flew ships across galaxies. They were not weak wanderers of a single world. They were conquerors of many. The traveler's breath caught. This cannot be true. Humans were never like this. The alien girl whispered, her voice filled with sorrow. It is true. Once, your kind was everywhere. Your people were the builders, the explorers, the dreamers. He turned sharply to her. Then what happened? Why don't we remember? Why is Earth alone now? She looked away, her silver eyes glowing faintly. Because my people, because we betrayed you. The traveler froze, his chest tight, her words cut like a blade. You betrayed us? She nodded slowly, guilt heavy in her voice. There was a time when humans and my kind stood together, but humans grew too strong, too fast. They challenged the order of the galaxy. My people feared you would take control of everything. The carvings shifted as they walked, showing war, fire, and broken worlds. Humans standing against alien armies, ships burning in space, cities falling in flames. The traveler's fists clenched, his heart pounding. You destroyed us. You erased us. Her voice trembled. We did what we thought was necessary. We wiped out your empire, sealed away your history, left your survivors on one small planet, Earth, alone, weak, forgotten. The traveler stopped walking, anger and disbelief fighting inside him. You turned us into nothing. The girl lowered her head. Yes. And for that, I carry shame. I was sent here to guard this secret, to make sure no human ever discovered the truth. The corridor ended in a tall stone gate. It was sealed, but cracks of golden light shone through. The traveler stared at it, his hands shaking with rage. Why would you tell me this now? Why not stop me before I saw everything? Her eyes lifted to meet his. Because I see who you are. You are not like the humans of the past. You fight with courage, not greed. I wanted to believe maybe this time it could be different. The ground shook, the gate glowing brighter. A deep rumble echoed through the corridor. The pyramid was listening, and it was awakening once more. The traveler stepped forward. I don't care what your people did. I don't care if humans fell before. I will not stop until I know all of it. The girl reached for his arm, her voice desperate. If you keep going, you will awaken more than history. You will awaken the things we sealed away. Things that destroyed your people before. But he pulled free, determination burning in his eyes. If they destroyed us before, then I will face them now. The gate split open with a roar, light flooding the corridor. Sand fell from the ceiling, the walls groaned. The chamber beyond the gate revealed itself, a vast hall filled with broken statues of both humans and aliens. Some stood tall, others shattered, as if frozen in battle. At the far end of the hall, a great staircase spiraled downward into blackness. The traveler stepped inside, his voice low. This is not just history. This is a graveyard. The alien girl followed, her face pale. Yes, the pyramid is both tomb and memory. It holds the story of your rise and your fall. They walked past the statues, their shadows long against the glowing walls. Each statue seemed to watch them, eyes carved with sorrow. At the center of the hall lay a massive stone tablet, cracked but glowing faintly. The traveler bent to read it. The words were strange, but somehow he understood. It said, "The first ones shall rise again when the key awakens. Their blood will call the stars and the galaxy will burn or be reborn." His heart raced. The first ones, it means humans, doesn't it? The girl's voice was weak. Yes, the galaxy once called you the first ones. You were the builders of all. The pyramid is waiting for you to rise again. The tablet's glow flared, and the staircase at the far end of the hall split open. A voice boomed through the chamber. Shaking the statues, the second trial begins. Step forward or turn back forever. The traveler stood tall, his jaw tight. He looked back at the girl. Her face was torn between fear and loyalty. If you take this step, there will be no way out. The pyramid will hold you until you finish what it began, she warned. He looked into her glowing eyes. You said your people erased us because they feared us. Maybe they were right to fear. Because we are not finished. He turned toward the staircase, his hand brushing against the stone tablet. The carvings burned brighter, and the statues around them seemed to shift. For a moment, the traveler thought. He saw them move, warriors of stone watching him, waiting for his choice. The alien girl whispered, her voice breaking, "If you awaken what sleeps below, it will not only test you, it will test me too. And if I fail, it will kill us both." The traveler did not stop. He stepped onto the first stair. The pyramid roared like a living beast, the ground trembling. The hall collapsing around them, statues cracked, dust rained from the ceiling, the air filled with golden fire. The second trial had awakened, and the true secret of the pyramid waited below. The spiral staircase went down and down, as if it had no end. The traveler's legs ached, but he kept moving, his heart steady with purpose. The alien girl followed close, her steps light but her face filled with fear. She knew what waited below, though she had never seen it herself. The deeper they went, the colder it became. The air grew thick, heavy, almost liquid. It pressed against their chests, making every breath harder. Strange whispers echoed from the walls, voices speaking in languages neither of them knew. Yet the traveler felt those voices were calling to him. Finally, the stairs ended. They stood before a massive chamber, wider than any they had seen before. The ceiling rose into shadows too high to see. Pillars lined the walls, each carved with human faces glowing faintly. And in the center of the chamber lay something enormous, a giant statue half buried in stone. It had 4 arms, each ending in sharp blades. Its eyes were closed, but even in silence, its presence shook the ground. The alien girl's voice was barely a whisper. "The Guardian, it sleeps until the second trial begins." The traveler swallowed hard. "It doesn't look asleep to me." As if hearing his words, the ground trembled. The statue's eyes snapped open, blazing with golden fire. The chamber shook with thunder as the Guardian rose, stone breaking off its body like armor. It towered above them, 10 times taller. Then a man. Its 4 arms moved with terrifying speed. Each step it took cracked the floor. The voice of the pyramid echoed from the walls. "Only the worthy may pass, face the Guardian, or be destroyed." The traveler pulled the alien girl behind a pillar as one of the Guardian's blades slashed down. Stone shattered, dust filled the air. The traveler coughed, his mind racing. "How do we fight this thing?" The girl shook her head, fear in her glowing eyes. "You cannot fight it with strength. It was made to kill armies. The only way is to outthink it." The Guardian roared, its voice a storm of fire and stone. It swung again, blades tearing through, pillars as if they were nothing. The traveler's eyes darted around the chamber. There, on the ceiling, faint lines of light formed a pattern, a crystal embedded above, glowing weakly. His instincts told him that was the key. "Distract it," he shouted. The girl nodded, raising her hands. Waves of psychic energy burst out, striking the Guardian. It staggered but did not fall, turning its burning eyes toward her. With a roar, it charged, blades slicing the air. The traveler ran, climbing, the broken stones leaping from one shattered pillar to another. Dust filled his lungs, sweat stung his eyes, but he climbed higher, closer to the glowing crystal. The Guardian struck again, one blade slicing the pillar he stood on. The stone crumbled, and he barely leaped to the next, his body shaking with fear and adrenaline. The girl screamed as the Guardian closed in. She unleashed everything she had, psychic energy slamming against the giant's chest. For a moment it staggered, light flickering in its burning eyes. That was all the traveler needed. He reached the ceiling, clinging to the broken stone. The crystal pulsed above him. He drew back his fist and slammed it against the glowing surface. Pain shot through his hand, but he struck again and again. The crystal cracked, light spilling out like fire. The Guardian roared, its body shaking. It turned from the girl, looking. Up at him, all 4 blades rose, ready to strike. The traveler screamed with effort and smashed the crystal one last time. It shattered into shards of golden light, raining down on the chamber. The Guardian froze. Its blazing eyes flickered, its arms fell limp. With a sound like thunder, its body collapsed, shattering into broken stone. The chamber shook, dust rising like smoke. And then silence. The traveler fell to his knees, gasping for air. His fists bled, his body bruised, but he was alive. The alien girl rushed to him, pulling him away from the falling debris. "You did it. You defeated the Guardian." He looked at her with a tired smile. "No, we defeated it. You gave me the chance." As the dust cleared, the floor of the chamber began to shift. Where the Guardian had fallen, a massive vault door revealed itself. Its surface was carved with glowing strands that looked like human DNA, spirals of light turning slowly. The traveler stared at it, his heart pounding. It was protecting this. The girl's face turned pale. "No, not this. Anything but this." She stepped back, shaking her head. "The vault of truth. It should never have been found." The traveler turned to her sharply. "What's inside?" Her voice trembled. "The end of everything, or the beginning of it again." The vault pulsed with light. The pyramid's voice filled the chamber once more. "The Guardian is fallen. The vault awaits. Step forward. Child of Earth, the traveler, clenched his fists, staring at the door. Every step had brought him closer to this. Every trial had demanded more of him. Now the final secret was in reach. The alien girl placed her hand on his shoulder, her eyes filled with sorrow and fear. If you open it, the galaxy will remember you, but it may also destroy you. The traveler took a deep breath, his voice steady. Then I will take that chance because the truth must be known. The vault's spirals glowed brighter, the door trembling as if it felt his presence. The air grew heavy, the ground shook. The traveler stepped forward, and as his hand touched the glowing DNA symbol, the vault began to open. The chamber filled with golden light. The girl whispered, in despair, "The vault of truth is open." The vault door groaned as it opened. Ancient stone sliding against stone, a blinding golden light spilled out, flooding the chamber with warmth and power. The traveler shielded his eyes, his heart racing. The alien girl stepped back, whispering prayers in her strange language. When the light faded, the truth of the vault was revealed. Inside were rows of glass pods stretching farther than the eye could see. Each pod held a human, sleeping, silent, frozen in time. Men and women, young and old, preserved as if waiting for a signal to wake. The traveler's breath caught in his throat. They are humans, thousands of them. His voice trembled. They look just like me. The alien girl's face was pale with fear. Yes, they are the last of your empire, the ones who survived when my people destroyed the rest. The traveler walked forward slowly, his footsteps echoing in the silent vault. He touched the glass of one pod, his hand shaking. Inside was a man, tall and strong, with scars across his face. The pod glowed faintly under the traveler's touch, as if recognizing him. The traveler pulled back in shock. The girl's voice was heavy with guilt. We sealed them here, asleep for ages, to keep them hidden, to stop them from rising again. Her silver eyes filled with sorrow. We wanted to erase you, but we could not kill them all, so we buried them in silence, hoping they would never wake. The traveler turned to her, his fists clenched. You kept my people imprisoned for centuries. For what? For fear? She lowered her head. Yes, because we knew if humans returned, the galaxy would change forever. The pods hummed softly, their light pulsing like heartbeats. The traveler felt as if 1,000 eyes were watching him from behind the glass. He whispered, "They are waiting for me, aren't they?" The girl nodded. Yes. The vault responds to you because you are human. Only you can awaken them. The traveler's chest tightened. He could not breathe. So many lives. So much history. Resting on his choice, was he ready to carry this burden? The pyramid's voice echoed through the chamber, deep and powerful. The heirs of Earth await. Touch the core, and they will rise again. The traveler looked around, and at the center of the vault, he saw it, a pedestal glowing with golden light, carved with spirals of DNA. He stepped closer, but the alien girl grabbed his arm. Her voice was desperate. If you wake them, war will come. My people will never allow humans to rise again. They will bring armies. They will burn every world to stop you. The traveler's eyes burned with fire. Then let them come, we will not hide anymore. The girl's hand trembled, her voice breaking. You don't understand. If you awaken them, you awaken their memories too. All their anger, all their pain, all their hunger for revenge. You may unleash the same humans who once tried to rule the galaxy. The traveler froze. Her words cut deep. What if she was right? What if by waking them he was not saving his people, but bringing back the same monsters who destroyed everything before? Silence filled the vault, broken only by the hum of the pods. The traveler closed his eyes, his thoughts torn between hope and fear. Then he spoke softly. I don't believe humans are only made of anger. We are more than war. We are more than greed. We can change. The alien girl stared at him, her lips trembling. You speak with hope, but hope has destroyed worlds before. He placed his hand gently on hers. Then stand with me. Help me guide them if they wake. You don't have to fear us anymore. Her silver eyes met his, filled with conflict. For a long moment she was silent. Then at last, she nodded. If you wake them, I will stay by your side, even if it means turning against my own kind. The traveler walked to the pedestal, his hand hovering above the glowing spiral. The pods hummed louder, their light pulsing in rhythm with his heartbeat. The pyramid's voice filled the air once more. The time has come. Choose, awaken the first ones, or leave them in silence forever. The traveler pressed his palm against the spiral. The vault exploded. With light, the pods glowed one by one, a chain of brilliance spreading across the endless rows. The hum grew into a roar, shaking the ground. Glass cracked, steam hissed. The humans inside began to stir. The traveler stepped back, his chest tight. He watched as the first pod opened with a hiss of air. The man inside gasped, his eyes snapping open, glowing faint with golden light. Then another pod opened, and another. The vault was alive with awakening. The alien girl fell to her knees, tears in her eyes. It has begun. The first ones are rising. The traveler's heart pounded, he whispered. Then the galaxy will never forget us again. But as more pods opened, a deep rumble shook the vault. The walls cracked, dust falling from the ceiling. The pyramid's voice returned, darker this time. You have awakened the heirs, but now the galaxy has heard. They are coming. The alien girl looked up in terror. They will not let this happen. The others will come. They will try to kill us all. The traveler clenched his fists, watching the humans climb out of their pods, their eyes burning with new fire. Then let them come. We are ready. The vault shook again, louder this time, and above, in the desert sky, shadows began to move. Warships descending, drawn by the awakening. The final trial was about to begin. The vault shook like thunder, dust falling from the ceiling. The newly awakened humans coughed as they stepped from their pods, their eyes glowing faintly with golden fire. The traveler stood among them, his heart pounding. He had awakened his people. But now he could hear the sky tearing apart above. The alien girl rushed to him, her voice sharp with fear. They are here, my people. They must have felt the vault open. They will not let this stand. The traveler clenched his fists, staring upward. Then let them come. We are no longer alone. The ceiling cracked, and from high above came a deafening roar. Warships descended, dark and sharp, filling the desert sky. Their shadows covered the pyramid like storm clouds. Thousands of soldiers poured down from the ships, armored in silver, carrying weapons that glowed with deadly light. The awakened humans looked weak, confused, many barely able to stand. But their eyes burned with memory. They were soldiers, explorers, builders, leaders, frozen in time but not broken. The traveler stepped forward, raising his voice. My brothers, my sisters, you were forgotten but not lost. The galaxy tried to erase us, but we are here. We will rise again. A murmur spread through the vault. The humans lifting their heads, the alien soldiers entered, their leader stepping forward. He was tall, his armor dark, his eyes cold. He pointed at the traveler and the girl. Human, step away from the vault. You have broken the seal, but it ends here, surrender, or all of you die. The alien girl stepped in front of the traveler, her voice shaking but strong. No, I will not obey you. I will not betray him. I will stand with the humans. The alien commander's eyes narrowed. You dare stand against your own kind? Then you will fall with them. The soldiers raised their weapons, light building at their tips. The traveler's chest burned with rage. He looked at the awakened humans, their faces tired but ready. He shouted, Stand with me, stand with Earth. Stand for the future. The pods behind them cracked open faster. More and more humans rising. Their voices echoed, joining his. For Earth. For humanity. The alien commander gave the order. Destroy them. Light filled the chamber as weapons fired, but the traveler leapt forward, grabbing a broken shard of crystal from the floor. He swung it, deflecting the blast, the energy scattering like sparks. The awakened humans charged, fists and makeshift weapons raised. The vault became a storm of fire and fury. The alien girl unleashed her psychic power, waves of force knocking soldiers into the walls. The traveler fought beside her, striking, dodging, never giving ground. The humans, though weak, fought with burning determination. For every one that fell, 2 more rose from their pods, their strength growing with each breath. The commander roared, stepping into battle himself. His blade clashed against the traveler's crystal shard, sparks flying. "You are nothing, human. You should have stayed forgotten." The traveler gritted his teeth, pushing back with all his strength. "We are not nothing, we are the first ones, and we will never be forgotten again." Their battle raged, each strike shaking the ground. The alien girl screamed as soldiers surrounded her. But the awakened humans rushed to her side, shielding her. For the first time in her life, she was not fighting against humans, she was fighting with them. The commander struck hard, knocking the traveler to the ground. He raised his blade to finish him, but before it fell, the traveler's hand shot out, grabbing the broken crystal, and driving it into the commander's chest. Light exploded, the commander's eyes wide with shock. With a scream he collapsed, his armor cracking, his body fading into dust. The alien soldiers froze, their leader gone. The pyramid's voice boomed across the chamber, shaking every stone. "The choice has been made." The first ones rise again. The alien soldiers hesitated, their weapons trembling. The alien girl stepped forward, her voice carrying across the chamber. "Leave now or join us. The age of silence is over, the humans have returned." The soldiers looked at one another, their formation breaking. Some fled back toward the warships, others dropped their weapons. The battle was over, but the war was only beginning. The traveler stood tall, breathing hard, blood on his hands. He looked at the awakened humans gathering around him, their eyes filled with fire. He raised his voice. "We were erased, but not destroyed. We were buried, but now we rise. Today is the first step, and tomorrow the galaxy will remember." The humans roared with him, their voices shaking the vault. The alien girl stood at his side, her silver eyes filled with pride and sorrow. She whispered softly, "You have done what no one else could. You have awakened them. You have changed everything." The traveler looked at her, his voice steady. "Then stand with us, because from this day we are not enemies, we are allies, and together we will shape the future." Above, the warships turned in retreat, their shadows fading from the desert sky. The pyramid glowed brighter than ever, its hum echoing like a song of rebirth. The vault doors closed slowly, sealing the chamber once more. But the humans were no longer sleeping. They were awake, alive, ready. The traveler stood among them, his heart filled with fire. The alien girl beside him, her hand in his. The desert outside was no longer silent. The galaxy had felt the awakening, and nothing would ever be the same again.